Bit of time to reflect after Saturday's game. What were your thoughts on the draw at Blackpool?
Well worthy of a draw, to be honest, Dan. I thought the first half, as we spoke about after the game, we had a good couple of chances to go in more than one. Weren't to be. Also Blackpool, looking back, they had a couple of chances as well to go further ahead. So I think overall the performance, we were very good in the first half. They come out a little bit different in the second, and it was a game of two halves, weren't it, really? But just pleased to see the lads, the character, the determination to stay in the game, and they certainly did that.
You've competed well with a lot of the top teams this season. You've got wins and draws against a good few of them. I know it's frustrating not to come away with more from that, but I guess it underlines how competitive we have been this season, even during the disappointing spells.
Oh yeah, we'll always be competitive. We're never going to let the lads lie down and roll over. We want that from them, to be competitive as much as you possibly can, whether that's training, whether that's games, whatever it is. We make sure in the warm-ups before games, we make sure they're spot on. We give them everything to do that. Sometimes we'll have that lack of quality, as I've spoke about loads of times, and that lack of know-how, but it won't be for the lack of trying, and the lads have done that. As you said, when we've lost games, they've still been in games, they've had good goals of it, and when we've won games, we look very good. We can put all that together and have that consistency. I spoke before about Sunderland being the most consistent team in the league at the moment. Look where they've gone. I think they've gained 43 points since Lee Johnson took over. That's an unbelievable tally of points to gain. Listen, they have got good players and everything else that goes with it. But so if you find that little level of consistency, you can find yourself in the echelons of the higher departments of the league. Unfortunately, that hasn't been the case so far this season.
I saw a stat doing the rounds this week that if the game's finished at half time, do you know where we'd be in the league?
No.
Second. Are you encouraged by that? Frustrated? Bit of both? What do you take of that? Do you take anything from that?
I don't really know, because it's a 95-minute game now. It's not even 90 minutes, is it? It's 95 minutes, but I don't know, it's an interesting stat. I know there was a stat going around early on about that. I didn't know that had continued.
Okay.
But I don't know, what should we change the games after 45 minutes instead of 90 odd? It just shows that we can do it. That's my argument towards it, or my opinion towards it. I wouldn't say argument, but that's my opinion towards it. I think if we find that consistent level, I have seen a few quotes of people saying, "What am I saying at half time?" Well, I don't say anything different what I say when we win or when we lose. We try and put things in perspective of what's going on in the game, of how we can go about it, and we get the tactics board out, the coach paint when we're at home on the TV, and we just say go again, and keep working hard, keep doing the right things. But again, I think sometimes decision making in a game can be costly. We've seen that. Whether it's put your foot through it or turn them or try and play, whatever that may be, sometimes decisions, and sometimes that little stroke of luck of opposition getting penalties or whatever it may be. So in terms of that stat, yeah, it's nice, but will we look at that? Can we build on that? Yeah, of course we can. If you can finish the game, and in hindsight, it's a wonderful thing, isn't it? We'd be in a lot more comfortable position, but we're not. But as I say, it's one to take something from and to learn from.
I guess from your perspective, from the club's perspective, is analysing where it could do better, but also taking the positives that we fly out of the traps. We're a very good team, and mixture of individual errors maybe and concentration might be contributing to that, but it's a learning experience, I guess.
It is, everything's a learning experience. As you said, we've got a young group, and we've spoke about having that little bit of experience in around the group. We've got some experience in there, but having that little bit more experience in the team who can galvanise and can pull people through. And I remember years ago Steve Davis brought me to Crewe to be the coach on the pitch. Maybe that's something I'll look to do. In the summer I'll look to bring maybe one or two more players who come in who can coach on the pitch, because Aaron Mine and Shuey's voice and Nance's voice all the time. Sometimes you get a little bit, it just comes natural that you can let it go out, and not really taking on board. And especially when the fans are back in, it's hard to get messages on the pitch. So I think we give them all the information they need, but having that consistency is a big key, whether that's consistent performance week in, week out, or whether that's decision making. We have to look at all them departments, but having a couple of leaders on the pitch, not just because they scream and shout, but organisation leader, and that's certainly stuff we're looking at for next season.
AFC Wimbledon on Friday, I think it was one of the craziest games of a crazy season when we went up there 4-4. Have you been involved as a manager in many more up and down games than that?
Yeah, we have actually. Yeah, we had a couple. We had about 4-4s. I think that the Lincoln one a few weeks ago was good. 4-3. That was a good one. It's good when you win them. It's not good when you lose them. But in terms of, that was that long ago, weren't it? I think they've changed managers since. They've probably changed a few personnel, the same as us. And what we've got to do is we've got to take note that we can score goals against any team, let alone AFC Wimbledon. We also know that we can see them. We've got to make sure that we keep that back door shut as much as we can and give ourselves the best possible chance of winning games of football. And they've done that of late, to be fair. So what we've got to do is got to respect Wimbledon for where they are. It's going to be a tough encounter, we know that. They're coming here on the back of a 1-0 win against Northampton. The keeper's made a last minute penalty save which can galvanise them, and but we're also coming from the back of a late equaliser and a good win at home last time against Bristol Rovers. So we'll worry about Wimbledon, but most importantly we'll worry about what we do.
I was going to ask about that. The circumstances, the way they won the game last week. I think they scored in the 89th minute, saved the penalty with pretty much the last kick of the game. As their opposition manager on Friday, how do you prepare for that? What do you expect that'll do for them?
Oh well, I don't know, but it will definitely galvanise them. We've looked at them, we've watched them, and they're together. They're fighting for the manager. They're fighting for the statuses because of where they are in the league. They've got a good chance of still getting out of it. And what you've got to do is in them situations, you've got to respect their situation, and we'll certainly do that. We'll respect where they are, what they're trying to do. They're fighting for lives. They're fighting for the families. When you get relegated from any leagues, you take a dip in wages, so they'll be fighting ever so hard to do that, and they're going to be a wounded animal, we know that, but that's up to us to cage that wounded animal and to make sure we go about our business the right way. We'll respect them massively, but we've got to worry about us, and it will galvanise them potentially, but the last few run of results that we've been on has galvanised us as well, and we're now looking to reach the point tally what our lads and us as staff have set out to get.
In terms of availability on Friday, obviously Jerome's serving the last game of his band, is that right?
He is, yeah.
Gaz was travelled with the squad for Blackpool. Lewis was back in, and Kel's not far off as well. Yeah,
Kel's training today. He's been doing with the fitness team and Dave, and working hard on his little muscle injury he had. He's fine now. He'll join the group today. Gaz, has been nice to have him back and travel with us because he's a big part of this football club, isn't he? He's had a long time out. Jerome's obviously still continued. He had a couple of extra days off in terms of to recover, but he'll be ready for Monday. Yeah, so we're all fit and firing, mate. Looking forward to the Easter weekend.
Yeah, in terms of the Easter weekend, I mean, as a fan, I remember it being, the weather's starting to get better. You play on Friday, Monday, generally big crowds, quite exciting time. But I guess for you, there's no crowds around, and you've been playing, twice a week all season anyway. It's not quite as exciting as usual, is it?
Not really, no. It's nice in the Easter weekend when you're going to games and travelling for, and the fans are coming in. It's always good. It's always nice in it, obviously, the Easter weekend. But at the moment, it's just, I think we're seeing a little bit more breathing space, aren't we, with so many different restrictions getting lifted a bit. But in terms of, we've been playing Saturday, Tuesday for the majority of the season, so the Easter weekend's no different this time round. It's Friday, Monday, and we'll at home we'll have the lads in Saturday. We'll train Sunday and travel to Shrewsbury for the Monday game. So yeah, it'll be no different, mate, this season.
We wish you well.
Cheers, thank you.